Welcome back to my channel. Seems that Heidi on the Philippine Antics channel just can't stop gossiping and making assumptions. And since she has brought religion into her criticisms, as I pointed out before, let me remind her that religious teaching speaks out against gossips. So will she change her ways or be a hypocrite? Heidi continues casting doubt on the Filipina Pea's viewer numbers and still makes an issue about P buying Google ads.
We have used that on the occasion. Okay, so I'm not even going to deny that we've never used it, okay? But it doesn't guarantee success. It doesn't. And you really have to pour money. So let's say you put $60 US into Google to promote a video for you. You're only going to get like $10 out of the video.
As pointed out in a prior video, there is literally nothing to make an issue about if P did buy ads. So why does Heidi make it one? Especially since Heidi admits they have done ads too. How many times have I shown Heidi admitting they do something, but they make it an issue if P does it? Also, look at how Heidi just said that buying ads means you can lose 6 times as much as you earn. If so, why would P be buying lots of ads? She majored in business, so it is likely she'd notice a difference between income and outgo. In an earlier video, Heidi said P may be buying views and subscribers, which violates YouTube policy. Heidi makes similar insinuations this time.
Them farms out there that are the Chinese, whatever farms where they promise us, which is illegal, by the way, you can buy the numbers. You can outright just get views and subscribers.
This is just pathetic. One assumption after another and no proof at all. Next.
I like her, but when I watch her, I see so much commercializing.
What the heck does that even mean? She doesn't explain, but hey, I guess it makes for a good soundbite.
And I seen a photo of her on Facebook recently. She's using a lot of editing software. Like I seen where she did her own waist and she literally had her waist down, whittled down to nothing. And I looked and you could see where she cut her own waist out. I'm like, why? Why are you changing that much about you? Because that's what sells.
Well, I looked at all P's recent images on Facebook, and darn if I can find one that fits that description.
If the Filipina Pea was as big as me, giving out the same advice, if I do exactly what the P is, I used to beat myself up over that at the beginning. I'm like, wait a minute, maybe if I just do exactly the content, like down to the cue that she was doing, you know, it wouldn't sell without the sex. And she already knows that. And so now on top of that, she's like editing her footage, like her photos. And like, she didn't have to do that.
Let's see. An attractive woman draws more attention, all other things being equal, than one who isn't. Big deal. Just do the best job you can. No need to make it an issue if you really aren't jealous. Of course, jealous people do tend to find excuses to criticize others to somehow justify their own lesser success, and they'll do it a lot. I never hear P making it an issue, even though there are much bigger channels run by gorgeous Filipinas. Maybe P has more self-confidence than Heidi does. Oh, and some men in the Philippines have bigger channels too. I've also seen channels from gorgeous Filipinas that are quite small. So, sorry Heidi, it isn't just a question of attractiveness. This next part is kind of weird, as Heidi seems to be trying to make it seem like her channel is especially original.
I'm the only American expat female here that is doing live streams several times a week with a Filipino husband that is from America. And then you take that, you know, George has the knowledge of both countries, and then you take into the fact that I'm not working for tourism or any of that, that totally puts me original.
Fine, different viewpoints can have value, but it doesn't mean a particular channel with a different viewpoint is particularly good. Some of what Heidi said means absolutely nothing, like doing several live streams a week. The number has nothing to do with quality, accuracy, or anything else. Nor are live streams inherently better than a regular video, but Heidi has always acted like they are. The stuff about not working for tourism is just silly. Even if some channels are paid by tourism, most aren't. Nothing special there. It gets worse. Here is Heidi reading a statement from some random person making a claim which has no support. and treating it as the truth.
I stopped watching the Filipina Pea when I found out the Philippine government pays her a subsidy to put out pro. When I did not know that. That is new to me. That is absolutely new. Where'd you get the information at? I'd be curious. I kind of figured there was something going on. I'm not going to lie. She only. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? It even showed her recently on Facebook photos at a government office. So I'm curious. That makes sense.
Well, glad Heidi isn't going to lie, but she sure will make things up and promote completely unfounded gossip. Heidi doesn't cast any doubt on the claim, just saying she didn't know that. She did ask where the information came from, but not in a way that questioned the claim at all. And then she supports it by saying she kind of figured there was something going on. In Heidi's world, figured seems to mean she was just making more assumptions. And then, just because P had photos at a government office, Heidi declares the claim makes sense because, no one goes to a government office except to collect payments for their YouTube videos. No. This is particularly insane, even for Heidi. Besides, P has plenty of videos that point out the negatives of the Philippines. Somehow her critics keep missing them, accidentally, every time. Why pay P when she covers so many negative things? Heidi returns to her claims about P's numbers.
Her numbers do not match whatsoever. We have a YouTube manager. That's another thing that makes us different. We have a YouTube manager, and only us have been invited to Google headquarters and to these events of Google Vloggers. The only expat Filipino channel that's made it there. So that puts us at the top of the list.
First, it isn't a big deal to have a YouTube manager. Not everyone is offered one, but it isn't exactly super duper special. And managers aren't necessarily all that great anyway. Based on research I've done, it was easy to find lots of vloggers complaining about them, including how some don't seem to be very knowledgeable. Many who have them don't use them. Just declaring we have a YouTube manager doesn't mean much at all. Being invited to Google's headquarters in the Philippines isn't all that special either. It's one of the things a manager arranges. I found nothing to show that an invitation means there is something special about Heidi's channel. There were 150 vloggers there. Maybe more were invited but turned it down, especially vloggers who live far away. Even if they were the only expat channel, there was nothing showing it meant they were extra special, let alone being at the top of some list, which no one has, even seen. Or maybe they are extra special, but the information we have does not come close to establishing that. Sounds more like self-promoting to me.
Managers analyzed her channel. There's nothing correct about her channel whatsoever. Everything's off. Her numbers are just up there. You should only be getting anywhere between 5 and 10%. If your channel's really good, 10%. Like really, really good. It doesn't matter situation, and her numbers are way above that.
I can see all kinds of problems with those claims, whether their manager said it or not. I do know, just by paying attention to YouTube, that there are plenty of exceptions to what is being claimed. Heidi says you should only be getting 5 to 10% of subscribers viewing, but lots of channels get more than that. And remember, I showed Heidi repeatedly reading off the total number of views for some of P's videos, not just those from subscribers. Lots of views come from non-subscribers.
The same with, you only should be getting 1 comment per 1,000, and somehow she's got 2.3 thousand comments on a video. Something's not right about her numbers, how it's being done. So maybe the government's doing something. I don't know. Maybe she is paying out extensive advertisement that's really getting people in. Who knows? But her numbers are some of the most off that I've seen on any vlogger. So maybe it's the Philippine government.
As for claiming the government may be responsible for P getting more comments than Heidi declares is legitimate, that's beyond stupid. Like maybe the government has hundreds of workers posting comments on her videos. Yeah, right. I did some checking. At the time I'm creating this script near the end of January, I took the last 5 videos from P and divided the number of views by the number of comments. They average 1 comment for every 64 views. Obviously, that is way above the 1 in 1,000, so Heidi must feel vindicated. It's over 15.6 times more common than Heidi says it should be. Just one problem. I also took the last 5 videos from the Antics channel, and they average 1 comment for every 50 views, which means the Antics channel is even further off from what Heidi says is proper. In fact, it is 20 times too high. Maybe the Antics channel is getting government help in their comment section. I had thought I was approaching the end of dealing with trolls and gossips, but I'm beginning to see that may not be the case after all, and the new ones don't make any more sense than the old ones did. Thanks for watching, and don't let the trolls stop you from speaking out.